Hello, welcome. In this video I'm going to show you how you can use PowerShell and Java with intellij, and you can use it in a very effective way to search through your files, and you can search through strings inside of files. You can also search through directories on your system. It's a good a way to run scripts and run your PowerShell and Java in order to search for things on your computer without relying on the built-in stuff that Microsoft has, which might be a little bit slow and a little bit unreliable. And so yeah, I wrote a couple scripts and a program here, and it's all on GitHub. So to get started, I have here at the top of here a command for your PowerShell: get children forest filter folder 3 recurse. Okay, so what does all this mean? Well, I have here a directory, and this is the more normal way people view files in their system. So on my desktop I have this directory, and in the root directory I got a folder here, I got another directory folder here, I got another folder with a file in here, and another folder and another folder. So I'm going to run a test here and show you how the PowerShell script can expose the stuff we got here. So if we copy and paste this script into PowerShell, and we're going to run it, of course. And here I'm going to show folder 3. I'm going to show a directory by the name of folder 3, and the PowerShell ostensibly is supposed to show me all directories with folder 3, which there should only be one, because in Windows you can't give two folders, you can't have two identical paths for stuff. So I'm going to run this command, and instantly it tells me, okay, look, you do have a directory with the string folder 3 in there. So it's telling me yeah. And let's say I changed up the shell script a little bit, and I said let's search for let's say YouTube test. Let's search for a folder called YouTube test inside of this parent directory. So let's run that script, and it basically tells us nothing happened. So it basically tells us now there's nothing. You got no directory called YouTube test. And I will show you real quick. So we're going to search through our parent directory, test PWS Java, and we're going to have Windows in our grid show everything that we have in this directory. So I'll run this command here. Okay, so it shows us, yeah, we got folder 3, but it also shows us, let me expand this. It's not expanding. Okay. Okay, so we also got folder 4, but look, in let's say folder in this path we got here 4 or 5, we also have folder 3 in there. So our PowerShell, when we were running the command before, we were searching for the string folder 3, and it was only showing us this line here, but it wasn't showing us the other paths we got that contain folder 3, right? So technically we have 4 items in this directory that contain the substring folder 3. So we need to do a little bit extra to get all the paths that we got that contain the substring of folder 3. We're going to kind of show off a bigger ordeal where you can use this to kind of search through your entire system. So we're going to CD all the way back to the bottom of our system. Okay, so we're all the way back to, I hope this is big enough for you. We're all the way back to C. And to repeat back where we're at, see, it tells us we're in C. $PWD. Now let's say we wanted to we want to go through our entire system and just print out on this console here, inside this window, every single folder and file, basically. Let's say we want to print out every single thing we have in our system. We just want to print it all out here. And we're talking, like, for many people, like millions and millions of lines of strings. So I'm going to copy and paste a script where we can do that. We're going to copy and paste this in here. Let's see what it happens. Okay. So it instantly, I don't know if is it still running? Yeah, it's still running. Okay. So this is a very heavy process, but it's going through everything. And I can expand this string here. And it's going through everything and printing out everything we got in our system here. Okay. It's just going through everything. Now, honestly, I could sit here for, I don't know, half an hour, 2 hours, all day for it to go through everything. There's a couple different ways to terminate that process, but we can always just hit Control-C. Okay, so we Control-C and we're going to stop that process. Now I'm going to show you how all this output here, how we can, instead of opening up this window, we can just instead put all this stuff into a text file, a normal text file, so we can read it. So we're going to copy and paste this code. I'll put all the path names on the computer and print the result to a text file. We're going to copy and paste that code in to here. Control V. So we're going to execute this command and output all this information to a new text file. And we can actually always hit Control-C, so we don't have to sit here and wait for hours and hours for it to go through every single file in our system and print it and put it into a text file. So we can hit Control-C, and we will check our stuff here. We got here a new text file. This stuff gets tricky. I'm going to actually rename it .txt. Now I can open it. There you go. And it instantly opens. Hopefully you can see this well here. YouTube test.txt. And look at this. This thing is like, how many lines long is that? Over 80,000 lines long. But it's printing out all the stuff I got in my system. But let's say I wanted to search for, like, let's say, you can always search for users, the word users, but let's search for this. OL5. Let's search specifically for the string OL5. Okay. So to do that, we'll run a command. OL5. Yeah, OL5. We'll look for OL5. And we'll output it in a grid view, which we're familiar with. Alright, let's run it, see what happens. I'm not sure we need that asterisk there. Do we need that asterisk? I don't know. Let's run it without the asterisk. Alright, enter. There you go. So PowerShell tells us on line 217 and line 328 we got a string OL5. We go back to here. There you go. It's line 328. OL5. OL5. So yeah, that's a powerful way you can search through your files and stuff like that. But I'm gonna go back to kind of the beginning here, where we had this. Nope, not this. We had this. Well, we had this massive output here. But yeah, so let's say there's a specific file or folder, and you want to search through your entire system for all instances of a certain thing. So a good example is like the word users. Okay, you're going to have a million folders in your system with the string users in the path, because so many of your paths have the name users in it. But we need a good program to just search through all the paths with any specific string in it. And so what we have here is we have this PowerShell script I showed you. And we can even have a Java program. Java can do the exact same thing. And let's compare this search feature to the Notepad search feature. So we just searched the string OL5. I know I'm jumping around a lot, right? We searched OL5, right? You can see it here, pattern OL5. But let's compare that to Notepad. What if in Notepad we had just searched for the string OL5? So Control F. Let's say we had searched for OL5, right? Find all in current documents. Well, it did it pretty quickly. Now let's search for another kind of string. There's only a couple instances of it. Recycle. Recycle. Now let's search for everything in our, let's search this whole thing for a string recycle. Find all in current documents. And you see that my computer kind of froze. See, it's thinking. It's not responding. It's a very hefty process. Okay. So maybe we can use, we can exploit PowerShell or even Java to deal with those heavy-duty processes. So let's compare that to PowerShell. We just simply search the string recycle. Let's search for, let me zoom in on this a little bit. Let's search again for the word recycle. Recycle. Hopefully I spelled that right. And let's run that. And you see that instantly it starts showing us. It didn't start like crashing the way Notepad was crashing. You see, so maybe PowerShell or even Java can be Java IntelliJ. Maybe they can be more resilient. It kind of explains why sometimes you can go to your like file explorer and you can sometimes struggle looking for things. Like it's going to act slowly, and it's going to give you a hard time. It's going to take forever. So for instance, I could go to my root here and let me just search for my favorite thing to search for is sudo, because I only have a couple things in my system with the name sudo. And if I search for that, it's so slow, man. It's like thinking. It doesn't know. It's searching and searching, and it's like, what the hell? This isn't very helpful, right? Because generally when you click search here, you expect to just get results. But if I compare that to this program here, So yeah, if I run PowerShell and I search for the string sudo, within 10 seconds it's gonna give us an output here. Meanwhile, File Explorer, it just thinks and thinks and thinks, and it's not giving us much of anything. You see that? PowerShell is giving us a response. It's telling us everything with sudo. It's finding all the sudo strings. So this is a little bit more powerful than, I'm going to kill this process, Control C. So yeah, it's a little bit more powerful than your File Explorer. Certainly more powerful than this thing here, Notepad. Filter search feature. Okay, so now I have here a Java program which helps search through files. And I have two classes here with main methods, and they do slightly different things. So in our app.java, what this main method does here is it searches through, remember we created these output folders, these text files, and it searches through a text file and it finds matchers of a regex of a certain string we're looking for, and then it prints out every instance of the entire root. Okay, huge giant file we got here. Let's say Eclipse. Okay, we're going to search for every root, everything. We're going to search for the word Eclipse in this entire file here, okay, in this entire folder. So we're going to run this. txt, this is desktop. Oh my god, bugging out. Okay, desktop slash YouTube test.txt. I think that's what it's called, right? YouTube test.txt. We're going to search for, what was that word? Eclipse. Okay, we're going to search for every file path with the word Eclipse, substring Eclipse in there. We're going to run this main method. Let's run it. There it is. Thousands of lines here, but all these file paths have the word have the substring Eclipse in there somewhere. Okay, that's Java. That's Java IntelliJ. Let's compare that to this. Search PC Eclipse. One 1000, two 1000, three 1000, four 1000, five 1000. It's thinking. 6 1000, 8 1000, 10 1000. Let's kill that. So yeah, Java, you can create a Java program that does the same thing. It's going to print out exactly what you need. Now this other main method here I got does something very similar, but what it does is it puts it into an array. I'm going to copy and paste that file path. Edit, copy, paste. Okay. we're going to run this thing here. I'm going to show you the difference between these two classes, what they do. It's going to think for a second. Gonna have to sit tight for a few moments. There you go. Does the exact same thing basically, except in this one it puts it into an array, and what it does is, instead of giving you the full file path, it's going to give you like what they call it here, a substring matcher. Okay, so it's going to give you everything. It's going to give you the string up to the point where you get the value you're looking for, and then it cuts off the rest of it, and then it goes on to the next element and it finds another one. So it's a little bit more tidy. It doesn't show the full file path, it just shows everything up to what you need, and it maps it out to an array. So yeah, I think that's a very powerful way to search through. So if you ever like know of like a certain malicious file or folder and you want to just search through your entire system and do a force search, remember we put that force flag on all our stuff, such as like right here. So we're going to search through all the hidden files, and we're going to find every folder, every file with a certain string in it. And so we can use our PowerShell to do it, and we can use a Java program to do it. We kind of integrate, we kind of leverage both of them. I got this script here. I put the script in here for you, so you can go to your root. So I'm going to copy and paste this into actually, you should put this all in one line. Yeah, put this all in one line. And so yeah, we're gonna print out all the files and folders we got inside our root. We're gonna use the recurse force, and we're gonna enter and run it. And I'm showing you that this will run inside it. You know, IntelliJ can run PowerShell and stuff. So showing us that there's a couple things where things are denied. That could possibly be because we're not running this with under administrator. Here I think we were running as admin. I don't know if that's exactly the difference, but we're gonna go ahead and kill this. Okay, so we got a result file here, and we can open this with Notepad. Click OK. There we go. So this is the file created from IntelliJ command line terminal we got. And right here, I'm going to show you why we have that UTF-8 flag. Because you're in your edit. See, it forced it to give it a UTF-8. If we didn't force it to do UTF-8, it would give us like UTF-16. And UTF-16, the Java compiler will have a hard time with it. So we just keep it at UTF-8, and that's good enough. And then from there, it's called result file, right? Let's see if the app would work with this. Desktop/result file. See if the app will run that. And we're going to search for what term should we search for? David config. Yeah, let's find every string with config in it. We're going to search for config. We'll go ahead and run this. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Where's the word config in there? Config. Yeah, it's finding out every config. Yep, it's finding all the substrings of config. So I hope you enjoyed seeing a couple different techniques where you can use your PowerShell and even Java with intellij in order to search through your entire computer or a specific directory if you want. You can search through your system for certain strings and substrings, and it should help making navigating through your system a little bit easier, especially if you're really urgently wanting to know, if you're wanting to find certain things without exclusively relying on your file explorer. So the steps and process and all the information you need will be on GitHub, and so check it out, like and subscribe, and happy coding.